My wife Sarah died 15 years ago. She was 48. I was 51. A drunk driver on Highway 101, black ice. 1 second she was singing along to the radio, the next second she was gone. I still remember the state trooper at my door at 4 in the morning. Still remember signing the papers at the morgue so they could turn off the machines. Still remember carrying her casket myself because I didn't trust anyone else to hold her one last time. We had no debt, no drama, just 30 years of love and a 3-bedroom house on Mercer Island we bought in 1990. One for $325,000. Today it's worth $3.2 million. I didn't sleep again that night. I sat on the edge of the bed with Sarah's glowing flip phone in my lap and stared at the call log. 1 incoming call, 3:03 a.m. Duration, 37 seconds. Number, Sarah's old cell, the one that's been dead for 15 years. My first thought was pure grief, maybe heaven has bad reception. My second thought was colder, someone on this earth just weaponized my dead wife's voice. I opened my laptop, pulled up the security app, and started scrubbing the bedroom camera footage from the last 6 months. That's when I found the pattern. 4 months ago, my son Ryan, 42, VP at a biotech startup, and his wife Lauren, 39, lifestyle influencer with 200,000 followers, started coming over every Sunday to check on Dad. They'd bring the grandkids, Ava and Mason, let them run wild while they casually measured rooms with their phone cameras and asked questions like, "Dad, have you ever thought about how much property tax you pay on $3.2 million? Or assisted living sounds scary, but some places have golf courses and chefs." I smiled, nodded, offered more cookies to the kids. What they never saw was the tiny red recording light on the bookshelf. 2 months ago, Lauren accidentally found Sarah's old box of keepsakes in the attic: birthday cards, hospital bracelets, voice memos Sarah recorded for the grandkids she never met. She cried real tears, hugged me, said, "I just miss her so much for you." That same week, my phone started getting weird carrier texts about reactivating an old number on your account. I never mentioned I'd already hired the best elder law attorney in Seattle and a private digital forensics guy who used to work for the FBI. By 5 a.m. Sunday, I was in my office with a pot of coffee and every camera feed open. The cemetery call came from a burner phone using a VoIP service routed through Romania. But the voice, that was the knife in my heart. I played the 37-second clip on studio headphones. It was Sarah. Not just similar, exact cadence, exact little catch in her throat when she said baby. Someone had taken her old voice memos, fed them into an AI cloner, and built a perfect weapon. At 6:15 a.m., I called my forensics guy, Paul. He answered on the second ring, voice rough from sleep. "Mark, it's early. Someone just deep faked Sarah's voice and told me to come to her grave. I need everything you can get in the next 4 hours." Silence. Then, "Jesus, send me the file. I'll tear the internet apart." While he worked, I did the hardest thing I've ever done. I opened Sarah's closet, took out the sweater she wore the night she died, and buried my face in it. Still smelled faintly of her perfume after 15 years. At 9 a.m. Paul called back, found the account that trained the AI, registered 3 weeks ago, paid plan, premium tier, billing address, Ryan and Lauren Morrison, Issaquah, Washington. They used Lauren's business Amex. My blood turned to ice. There was more. Paul traced the burner phone to a storage unit in Renton, rented under Lauren's maiden name 2 months ago. Inside, he already had a contact who checked. A laptop, green screen, studio mic, and a printed script titled Operation Mercy Grave. Page 1 read, goal, convince Mark he's losing his mind, voluntary guardianship, sell, Mercer Island house, split proceeds after care expenses. They weren't waiting for me to die. They were planning to bury me alive while I still breathed. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just sat in my office chair staring at the words Operation Mercy Grave on Paul's screen. Share until the letters blurred. My My own son, my only child, the little boy who used to fall asleep on my chest while Sarah sang him Edelweiss. That same boy paid money to clone his dead mother's voice so he could terrify his father into a nursing home and steal the house we built together. I asked Paul the only question that mattered. Can you prove it in court? Already packaging everything. Chain of custody perfect. The AI company keeps raw training files for 90 days. We have Lauren's login timestamps. Her exact source audio uploads Sarah's old birthday messages to you. The hospital voice memos she recorded when she knew she was dying. Even the Romanian VoIP invoice is in her business name for content creation. This isn't just elder abuse. This is felony wire, fraud, harassment, and attempted financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult. They're done. I hung up and did something I hadn't done since the night Sarah died. I walked to the backyard, sat on the bench under her favorite cherry tree, and cried until I had nothing left. Then I dried my face, went inside, and started phase 2. Monday morning I called Ryan. Put it on speaker, recorded it, kept my voice shaky on purpose. Rye, something happened last night. Sarah's phone. It rang, she talked to me. I think I'm losing my mind, son. I need help. He couldn't hide the excitement in his voice. Dad, oh my God. Stay right there. Lauren and I are coming over. We'll take care of everything. They arrived in 37 minutes flat, fastest they'd ever driven from Issaquah. Lauren was already crying when she walked in, clutching a folder labeled Memory Care Options Mercer Island. Ryan hugged me too tight, kept saying, we told you this house was too much for one person. I let them lead me to the couch, like I was 90 instead of 66. Lauren opened her folder, slid glossy brochures across the coffee table. Look, Dad, this place has waterfront views, private chefs. They even have Sunday church services. You'll be so much happier, and the sale of the house will cover everything for decades. I pretended to study the brochures with trembling hands. You really think I'm that far gone? Ryan put a hand on my shoulder. Dad, hearing Mom's voice. That's a serious symptom. We only want what's best. I nodded slowly, let my eyes fill with tears. Okay, if you really think so. I'll sign whatever you need. Lauren actually squealed. She pulled out a pre-drafted durable power of attorney and guardianship petition already notarized. Just needed my signature. I took the pen, held it over the line. Then I looked up with the coldest smile I've had in 15 years. Before I sign, I have one last request. Ryan leaned in. Anything, Dad. Play the recording again. The one you made of your mother. I want to hear her voice one more time. The color drained from both their faces. Lauren stammered, What? What recording? I reached into my pocket, pressed play on my phone. Sarah's voice filled the living room, crystal clear. It's Sarah. I never left you, baby. Come to the cemetery. I'm so cold. Then Paul's voice, calm and professional. This audio was generated using stolen voice memos and an AI service paid for by Lauren Morrison on March 12th. Full forensic report attached. I watched Ryan's world collapse in real time. The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Ryan's mouth opened and closed like a fish on dry land. Lauren's eyes went straight to the bookshelf, to the tiny black lens that had been recording every second in 4K since the day they first mentioned memory care. I stood up slowly, the way you do when you want the moment to last forever. You know what the worst part is? I asked, voice calm as a frozen lake. The worst part isn't that you tried to steal my house. It's that you used Sarah's dying words to do it. The messages she left me when she knew she only had days. You took those and turned them into a horror movie to scare an old man into a nursing home. Lauren lunged for the bookshelf camera. I didn't move. There were 12 more in the house, plus the cloud backup that went live to Paul, my attorney, and the King County share. If the second she crossed the threshold, Ryan finally found words. Dad, We were trying to help you. The housing market. We're underwater on the new build. The kids' college. I laughed, actually laughed. It felt good. Help me. By making me think my dead wife was trapped in her coffin for 15 years. By paying some Romanian hacker $3,000 to deep fake her voice so I'd have a nervous breakdown. Lauren started sobbing, mascara rivers. It was only supposed to be one call. Just enough to get you to agree to the guardianship. We never meant stop. I raised one hand. You don't get to cry. Sarah's the one who should be crying. I walked to the front door and opened it wide. 2 unmarked sedans and a King County Sheriff patrol car were already parked at the curb. Detective Ramirez, the same woman who investigated Sarah's crash 15 years ago, stepped out first. She recognized me immediately. Mr. Morrison, we got the warrant package from your attorney an hour ago. May we come in? Ryan tried to bolt toward the back door. A deputy in plain clothes was already waiting in the kitchen. Handcuffs clicked before he made it 5 steps. Lauren dropped to her knees right there in my foyer, screaming that it was all her idea, that Ryan didn't know about the AI, that she only wanted what was best for the kids. I looked down at her and spoke the sentence I'd practiced in my head for weeks. You wanted what was best for my house. Not my grandchildren. Not me. My house. They read them their rights while the kids' toys still sat in the living room corner from last Christmas. Detective Ramirez bagged the laptop from their car already unlocked. Paul had remotely triggered a back door 30 minutes earlier. The desktop showed the folder Mercer Island sale projections with a spreadsheet titled Net After Dad's Facility Fees. Ryan wouldn't look at me while they walked him out in cuffs. Lauren kept screaming my name like I was the one who owed her mercy. As the patrol car pulled away, neighbors were already on their lawns filming with phones. By evening it would be on every local news station. Bellevue couple arrested for elaborate AI elder abuse scheme against wealthy widower father. I closed the door, leaned my back against it, and finally let the tears come. Not for them, for Sarah. Because somewhere, somehow, I swear I felt her hand on my shoulder. That night I slept in our bed with her flip phone unplugged for the first time in 15 years. I didn't need it anymore. She'd already come back exactly when I needed her most. The silence that followed was louder than any scream. Ryan's mouth opened and closed like a fish on dry land. Lauren's eyes went straight to the bookshelf, to the tiny black lens that had been recording every second in 4K since the day they first mentioned memory care. I stood up slowly, the way you do when you want the moment to last forever. You know what the worst part is? I asked, voice calm as a frozen lake. The worst part isn't that you tried to steal my house. It's that you used Sarah's dying words to do it. The messages she left me when she knew she only had days. You took those and turned them into a horror movie to scare an old man into a nursing home. Lauren lunged for the bookshelf camera. I didn't move. There were 12 more in the house, plus the cloud backup that went live to Paul, my attorney, and the King County Sheriff. If the second she crossed the threshold, Ryan finally found words. Dad, we were trying to help you. The housing market. We're underwater on the new build. The kids' college. I laughed, actually laughed. It felt good. Help me. By making me think my dead wife was trapped in her coffin for 15 years. By paying some Romanian hacker $3,000 to deep fake her voice so I'd have a nervous breakdown. Lauren started sobbing, mascara rivers. It was only supposed to be one call. Just enough to get you to agree to the guardianship. We never meant to stop. I raised one hand. You don't get to cry. Sarah's the one who should be crying. I walked to the front door and opened it wide. 2 unmarked sedans and a King County Sheriff patrol car were already parked at the curb. Detective Ramirez, the same woman who investigated Sarah's crash 15 years ago, stepped out first. She recognized me immediately. Mr. Morrison, we got the warrant package from your attorney an hour ago. May we come in? Ryan tried to bolt toward the back door. A deputy in plain clothes was already waiting in the kitchen. Handcuffs clicked before he made it 5 steps. Lauren dropped to her knees right there in my foyer, screaming that it was all her idea, that Ryan didn't know about the AI, that she only wanted what was best for the kids. I looked down at her and spoke the sentence I'd practiced in my head for weeks. You wanted what was best for my house, not my grandchildren, not me. My house, they rid them their rights while the kids' toys still sat in the living room corner from last Christmas. Detective Ramirez bagged the laptop from their car already unlocked. Paul had remotely triggered a back door 30 minutes earlier. The desktop showed the folder Mercer Island sale projections with a spreadsheet titled Net After Dad's Facility Fees. Ryan wouldn't look at me while they walked him out in cuffs. Lauren kept screaming my name like I was the one who owed her mercy. As the patrol car pulled away, neighbors were already on their lawns filming with phones. By evening, it would be on every local news station. Bellevue couple arrested for elaborate elder abuse scheme against wealthy widower father. I closed the door, leaned my back against it, and finally let the tears come. Not for them, for Sarah. Because somewhere, somehow, I swear I felt her hand on my shoulder. That night, I slept in our bed with her flip phone unplugged for the first time in 15 years. I didn't need it anymore. She'd already come back exactly when I needed her most. 8 months later, I walked into courtroom 4B of the King County Superior Court, wearing the same charcoal suit I wore to Sarah's funeral. I wanted them to remember exactly whose life they tried to bury. The gallery was packed. Local news, true. Crime YouTubers, half the neighborhood. Ryan and Lauren sat at the defense table, looking like ghosts of themselves. Ryan had lost 30 pounds in jail, waiting for trial. Lauren's influencer hair extensions were gone, replaced by prison roots and an orange jumpsuit for felony violations while on bail. The prosecutor, Assistant DA Melissa Chen Sharp, no mercy, opened with the 37-second call played on the courtroom speakers. Sarah, voice filled the room. It's Sarah. I never left you, baby. Come to the cemetery. I'm so cold, half the jury cried. One older woman in the back row actually crossed herself. Then came the evidence parade, the AI voice. Cloning invoice for $3,400 on Lauren's business Amex. The storage, unit lease with the laptop, green screen, and the printing. Operation Mercy Grave script. Bank records showing they had already accepted a cash offer on my house contingent on guardianship approval within 60 days. Text messages between them the night of the call. Lauren at 3:05 a.m. He's freaking out. Phase 2 tomorrow. Ryan, tell the buyer we close by Christmas. The defense tried the desperate parents angle, claimed skyrocketing mortgage rates, private school tuition, Lauren's brand deals drying up, said it was a stupid prank that went too far. The judge, a 71-year-old woman who'd seen every scam in the book, wasn't having it. When Lauren took the stand and cried about only wanting to help poor grandpa, D.A. Chen played the unedited 93-minute recording from my living room the day I pretended to sign the guardianship papers. Lauren's voice, cold and business-like. Once he's declared incompetent, the house sells in a week. After facility, fees, and our management cut, we clear 1.8 each. Kids' college paid, new build finished, Maldives for Christmas. The jury was out 41 minutes, guilty on all counts. Ryan conspiracy to commit financial exploitation of a vulnerable adult Class B felony criminal impersonation, harassment with intent to terrorize, Lauren extra charges. Masterminding all the above plus wire fraud and identity theft using Sarah's recorded voice without consent. Sentencing day was 3 weeks later. Ryan got 8 years. Lauren got 12. Judge cited unusual cruelty in weaponizing a deceased family member. The prosecutor asked for a permanent, no-contact order and full restitution, $3.2 million current appraised value of the house they tried to steal. Judge granted it. They'll be paying me 60% of every paycheck for the rest of their lives. When the gavel fell, Ryan finally looked at me. Mouth formed the word Dad. I didn't answer. I just turned and walked out past the cameras, past the reporters shouting questions, past the life they thought they could take from me. Outside on the courthouse steps, I did the interview every station wanted. Reporter, Mr. Morrison, Do you have anything to say to your son and daughter-in-law? I looked straight into the lens. Yes. Tell them the house is staying exactly where Sarah left it. And the cherry tree is blooming early this year. Then I got in my car and drove home. 2 years have passed since the gavel fell. Ryan is in Monroe Correctional, medium security. Lauren is at Mission Creek Women's Prison, teaching social media marketing to inmates who will never have Instagram again. Every month I get 2 identical letters, one from each prison. Ryan's are short, broken apologies in shaky handwriting. Lauren's are longer, still trying to blame stress, the economy, miscommunication. They go straight into the fireplace unopened. The smoke smells like justice. The house is quieter than ever, but not empty, because 6 months ago, on Ava's 16th birthday, a plain white envelope slid through my mail slot. Inside was a single sheet of notebook paper in teenage girl handwriting. Grandpa, Mom, and Dad say we're not allowed to talk to you. But I turned 16 yesterday, and I don't care what they say anymore. I know what they did was evil. I listened to the courtroom audio someone posted online. I cried for 3 days. I'm so sorry they used Grandma Sarah like that. Mason is 14 now, and he cries too. We miss you every single day. Can we please come see you? We don't want the house. We just want our grandpa back. Love forever, Ava and Mason. I sat on the porch steps and read it 10 times. Then I did something I swore I'd never do again. I drove to the prison visitors' room. Ryan looked 10 years older. He started crying the second he saw me through the glass. Dad. Thank you for coming. I didn't pick up the phone at first. I just looked at him for a long minute. Then I spoke, loud enough for the receiver. I'm not here for you. I'm here because your daughter is braver than you ever were. Ava wrote me. She's 16 now. She and Mason want to come home. Not to this house, to me. Ryan's face crumpled. Dad, please, take care of them. I stood up to leave. I will, the way Sarah and I always planned. There's a trust in their names only. College, first cars, weddings, whatever they need. You and Lauren will never touch a cent. When you get out in 6 years, maybe Ava will let you meet her kids someday. Maybe she won't. That's her choice now. Not yours. I never went back. 3 weeks later, Ava and Mason showed up on my doorstep with overnight bags and terrified smiles. I made Sarah's lasagna. We planted new tulips under the cherry tree. Ava plays Sarah's old piano again. Mason mows the lawn without being asked. Some nights we sit on the porch and watch the sun set over Lake Washington. Ava asked once, quietly, "Do you think Grandma can see us?" I smiled and pointed to the brightest star just above the water. She never left, sweetheart. She was just waiting for the right hearts to come home. And every single night, when I lock up the house, cameras still running, doors still double bolted, I walk past Sarah's flip phone on the dresser. It's unplugged, battery long dead. But sometimes, just sometimes, when the grandkids laugh loud enough in the next room, I swear I hear that old ringtone play for half a second. Maybe it's the wind, maybe it's not. This is Mark Morrison reminding every one of you watching, some ghosts aren't dead. Some are just greedy people wearing the faces of the ones you loved. If your kids start measuring your house instead of hugging you, if they suddenly care about your memory, the same week their mortgage jumps, if they ever, God forbid, try to use your dead spouse's voice to scare you into a grave while you're still breathing, you fight back, you document, you lawyer up, you protect your peace with every legal weapon on earth. Because the real haunting isn't a phone call at 3 a.m. It's realizing the monsters under your bed grew up calling you dad. I buried my wife once. I will never let anyone bury me alive. The house stays mine. The cherry tree keeps blooming. And Sarah's star keeps shining. That's not selfish. That's survival. And now, for the first time in 15 years, it's also happiness. If this story saved even one person from what I went through, like it, share it, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Justice isn't always sweet. Sometimes it just sounds like grandchildren laughing in a house that will never be sold. I never remarried, never even dated. Sarah's clothes are still in her closet. Her garden is still blooming, And every night I keep her old silver Motorola flip phone on nightstand, plugged in, fully charged. It hasn't rung since 2010. Until last Sunday. I was asleep, or trying to be. The clock on my side said 3:03 a.m. when it happened. That phone, Sarah's phone, lit up like a ghost. Her old ringtone, the one she set to somewhere over the rainbow, started playing soft and tinny in the dark. I shot upright so fast my heart almost stopped. The caller ID said Sarah Mobile. Same number she had for 12 years. Same number the phone company told me was retired and unassigned after she died. My hand shook so bad I almost dropped it. I flipped it open and pressed it to my ear. Silence at first, then a woman's voice, soft, familiar, impossible. Hello, Mark. My throat closed. It sounded exactly like Sarah. Same little laugh in the throat. Same way she said my name when she was teasing me. Sarah. I croaked, "It's Sarah." The voice whispered, "I never left you, baby. I've been waiting. Come to the cemetery." I'm so cold. The call ended. 37 seconds total. I sat there in the dark staring at the phone like it was a bomb. I wish I could tell you I thought it was a prank right away. I didn't. For one terrifying minute, I actually believed my dead wife had reached out from the grave. Then I saw the red dot on the bedroom camera blinking. The one I installed 4 months ago, when my son Ryan and his wife Lauren started pushing me to downsize and move into assisted living, because here's what they never knew. I was already one step ahead.